they come get a meeting very soon. As I say, Wednesday, by the grace of God, the Pastor Registration and Council sitting, we will later on communicate to the Director of Education, of course, for the invite and company sitting, and then we'll take the action for making them stop all red and green color now the schools in the western area. We'll get white, we'll get blue, we'll get pink, we'll get mauve, we'll get orange.
Somebody could say within your municipality, the Western Rural District, a big municipality. So una go monitor the exercise, see the houses and do not ban them.
Yeah, very simple. We get the education department, we get deputy director there, we get school inspectors there, we get the heads of schools. So it's just to pass on the information to them. And I believe then self go be happy because the heads of schools, they go be happy because then self the face up. It's a serious problem. Because when sport they go now, if you go talk, in fact, red house want to come first all time, green house want to come first all time. So they even the pressure of the sports officials there. If somebody will tell me, people they already bribe for when they call or come first for sports activities. That is wrong. It is wrong. So we don't say next year, by the grace of God, no school no they use red or green now with district passporting activities.
So I don't consult the Ministry of Education.
But I'm saying that Wednesday, by the grace of God, the Deputy Director of Education will not collaborate with CAM because it's our responsibility as a council for seek the welfare and security of our people. So we take the decision, the personal council, as a law in the district that no school not for use red or green passporting activities. Because now imagine election day 1 year or so ahead, the kind of way they happen to the red and green. If next year on elections, if the school will make the sports inside March, April, May, they get June elections. It will be a problem. So normally they will damage you picking in at schools then, which one might go find for you. So they say no to color, then color in that schools then. And we won't tell you to go, we are different, we're going to color in there. No problem. But now it's a serious challenge. It's a serious problem. In fact, we don't take an answer and attend no school sports right now. Because as you reach this, they don't associate you to one color. That's when the rise. If picking one now safe, if they want to say they're very close, we have to cut that case. There is sports officials then. The officials they officiate the sport. But we see these colors. They know that when we come first, they go for that color day, another particular day, this and that particular day. So problem. So we for me we get peace and quietness when people enjoy the sport. Then the school authorities they always will not get problem. We say no to them color day. Now with this street.
All right, that's Mange Mansare. Maybe they talk to the district council chairman for the Western Area Rural District, when Akasha Olan Cole. We be they talk inside that interview day, but the red and green color the way see in the ban for school them within other parts of the country they let no use them during their sports activity them. According to I say them color they are so they bring problem anytime we school them get all sports activity them.
The program now Good Morning Salone, we come to you from 98.1 FM. Well, today is the edition of the program Good Morning Salone. Now the focus of discussion that we invite Valnora Edwin in a civil society, good governance and the human rights campaigner. Therefore, talk about the impact within this mean for Salone, color, takeover school sports them. Good morning and welcome to the program Valnora Edwin.
Good morning. Thanks for having me.
Of course, Valnora Edwin, na household name in terms of good governance and the human rights campaign for a very long time. Don't they campaign on issues like this, especially we get to do with good governance and security and human rights in the country. Well, today inside the program now with special guest for can talk about this issue. Valnora Edwin, quick one you don't get from Kasha Holland Cool and in decision where you take. I can describe that decision before we can discuss the entire program itself.
Well, I think, firstly, it's rather unfortunate that periodically over time, we get for they can discuss this issue around color. I think, the way with democracy they go, we for don't grow a bit above that. And when people they aligned or even very passionate about the political parties, I don't think the color, the party color for so dominate something like. And the way are they listen probably even primary school sports. And the challenge there will be when you take this particular or party affiliation bigger than your country. Because as the chairperson of the Western Rural District rightly say, now from them sports there you identify talent. we all know when Olympics Day, Commonwealth Games, African Union Games, then get youth games and all of that. Now, yes, so they identify talent. We can they look all the other countries, they, oh, look how much medal, then get, look how much medal. They start with them when they are 6 years old, 7 years old, 8 years old. And you can see, then can say politics in all its forms, not for being involved in anything. And so if, unfortunately, parents and maybe school don't inculcate this thing where the party affiliation don't dominate the wider picture, the potential for even in young picking, it's worrying. But it's good that at the Western Rural District area, they don't see them as an early warning sign, and measures don't begin there in place for address them. But I think, say, banning the colors, in as much as it seems to be the safest way, I think we need for develop a culture for be a bit more tolerant. We're so tolerant in so many other things. We get for develop that culture there for be tolerant and ensure say we picking there enjoy the sports, because they're not going to understand waiting at this thing. And I don't think say really necessary now then get in sports, now then they wear them color, not to the parents. In as much as we self can go, we self can wear the color, we all the glad, but now they picking them time that, not to we own time that. So maybe then go, as time they go, it might seem a good solution for solve the problem, but maybe when this don't come in the public domain, we all go put smart, there will be a lot of conversation, and we go able for educate citizens then for understand, say, you can be passionate about your party, but let we know lower the threshold of the conversation to particular till they reach school sports and you know they go disrupt them.
Now, let we look at color generally, apart from school sports, as a civil society, good governance and human rights campaigner, we don't follow issues na Salone. How you can describe the entire color issue, apart from within the raise na the Western Rural District?
It's unfortunate because even bigger than that school sports, over time, let me make a start and say it's unfortunate that over time, we they come now and again for talk about this. You they find out, say, some people and go tell you, say, even at the office, certain color and they can't wear them. So when APC day, if you they go wear green, no problem. When SLPP day, if you they go wear red, no problem. Some people then go tell you, say, I mean, now then close. Not all man they wake in the morning and begin member APC and SLPP. He wake, he making clothes fine, he wear them. He go they work at the big, hey, so Nayanda, you then wear, oh, they watch you. You know, then funny thing and they, so it's really sad that we they, as like I say, we they lower the threshold, we they lower the standard of the political conversation. We're not for be about to scholar. And making say normally, me they wear anything one way. I not join on political party. And I think say we all get forget the conscious effort say then color don't exist before any of we exist, then go exist beyond we, and then go exist beyond SLPP and APC. But these are just colors. And whatever color you wear, it belongs to political parties. Yellow, blue, purple, they're all now political party colors. So that means say we don't know for, well, we just wear white, wear black and gray. Because I think they're them particular than they know they. So it's rather unfortunate that at a wider scale, they become challenging in certain spaces because of this. I think it's a bit of a negative passion for party affiliation.
Even before Chairman Kasho raised that concern, the interview we talked to Mange Mansari, na issues them way don't they happen na other school them, even na Freetonia. You don't go to the extent that even teachers them can be very critical on which color then they put them way camp and sporting activity them na then school them. If this particular trend continue, when they talk about human rights and good governance, teacher them they afraid say I don't want for dinner this particular color, either red or green, that just the neutral. How it go affect the mental space of the picking them? Because some school them, the picking them are just early learners them. They don't understand within in two color they are so mean to Sierra Leonean them.
Like I emphasize, it's a very unfortunate situation. And so we all get a role for play. Placed in like National Commission for Democracy, NACID, and we can do the civic education, just get for continue, for educate we self. Because this one, I'm not to the political party, then self as a body, they cause this. So now we ordinary citizens, they don't take this part. People are so sensitive about colors and this green and red thing. And we need for go above that because, they help we. So if even there is an argument that somebody gets a right to feel offensive about certain thing, but when it affects the greater good, and when it begin reach to the point where they affect the growth of picking them, it's a real big concern, and we need for go above that. So we just get for continue the civic education, that teachers or schools not for begin ban red and green just because of two political parties them, and are just a few people them now they get them sensitivity.
So
then
you
they
not think say the decision for ban then two colors there, so from schools then na the western urban districts, like how the chairman don't say it timely?
Like as an early warning, I mean, like I say, if you think and say as a first step or the best solution, go be because the context could be different. Yes, it don't be na urban and not to today, even around 2012, 2018, then discussion they had on they come around. In all reach that dimension, they may be in the urban, but if in the western rural, as an early warning, when you look at all available options, for ban them is the best solution, we need for go along that route today. But in the interim, until that happens, I think we all need for come on board, do a lot of civic education to the parents, to the teachers, and to the school for no say these are just colors. The colors then bigger than we, they exist before we, they exist before Salone, they exist before APC and SLPP, and they therefore exist beyond all over the world. In fact, who they go school, I don't know if I can recall them, can call them primary colors or something. Red, blue, yellow, and green. Those are the four main colors wherever you go. Then all the other colors can. So when you begin get all the dynamics there, it really they show how problematic with political discussion don't be over time. And I think a complete misunderstanding of where you get an affiliation, how you for able for manifest them.
The program now Good Morning Salone, where they come to you from 98.1 FM, and we will bring you this edition of the program. Musa Kamara Minim.
And Mina Khadija Bangura.
We still get Vanola Edwin, so civil society, good governance, and human rights campaigner. We they talk about the impact of color na school sports them, and earlier you don't they talk about the impact on the teachers themselves and also the future. Now look at a situation where in then na ballot it go ballot for get us or get color, we say they put you being primary or secondary. But in a situation now we say according to your parents in name or affiliation, so they put you in a us. What does this mean in the future?
As I mentioned, it does this show say we understanding of democracy, we understanding of even having a strong and passionate party affiliation gets a bit of a problem because they bring on to the level of whose house color me pikinde and not for wear this kind color and not for pass so with this kind color. And like I say, it don't be a problem over time that even within offices or certain domain, people can't wear either red or green depending on whose political party they lead the executive. And I think that is wrong. In as much as everybody gets and everybody gets a right for waiting the color way one wear without you go say it necessarily be offensive to anybody. These are just colors. So for let it reach a stage where up to the school level, the teachers, because not only picking and get the problem, the teachers and the parents and they create an issue over them, it requires a lot more civic education. And I think so we get for understand what in political parties and therefore define the agenda for the nation, put on a very simple terms. When government, the way democracy work, instead of you get just one set of people there, you get different sets of people. And political parties na the route, na the avenue through which you, the citizen, can able for identify yourself. Now that make you get plenty political parties. So you can look and say, oh, this party A, now the party where don't look say me passionate about education. As he say they articulate education well, I go vote for them. This party they talk about infrastructure. I'm passionate for that and I go vote for them. Now that's them they for. The colors then are just about secondary matter of identity. So the focus of the political party, what it stand for and what it supposed for can do, now for be the primary concern. Not so the color we're affiliated with the political party for they dominate the discussion.
The normal practice for let school picking or teacher belong to a house color na school through ballots where then he writes the names them na paper them. But at this point, it all reached to a particular point now. Even if the picking take a ballot paper, maybe for example, na greenhouse it take. Some parents then forcefully they go to the school for say that they remove them picking them from this particular color. They don't want them picking them. And we talk about democracy now and also national cohesion. With them practice there, so how we go affect them to think there, so how we go continue for be a problem in Salone democracy.
It is a problem. And unfortunately, so they begin to come to be picking them to that generation day. So again, maybe there'll be an argument that, well, he gets a right for decide whose color he go want him picking for the etc. But they work so. Because schools then get rules and regulation. Everywhere where we we can talk about rule of law. There has to be regulations. You get in the way they guide we. And as you rightly mentioned, the way where then they allocate picking them to house colors, now through ballots where you will go pick and then say, now this house color you day. So the picking now in they go on or participate in sports, now in there in that color they now in school. If you the parent decide say we in because like when me own picking and can get sports, now that color there they wear that day. So if you the parent decide say that color they not suitable for you, you can wear what you wear and go the sports, but not deprive you picking from Usai one. They will not begin take this negative partisan affiliation and make it count down to we picking them level, because as the time they go, we they see the kind wide division where they see the high level of intolerance just because people there don't take this party business past every other thing and it wrong enough for work so because it get negative effect.
Look from other angle that, for instance, if you day red or maybe you day green, but then put it picking at the opposite color, the day for the sports, you wear that color day of you picking, you go na the school where you did at the different side. You don't think say waiting done they happen over time, then just go snap that picture, they go get on that political party in logo say this person maybe don't cross carpet. People they fear for their own daily living or point finger say it won't be trewy.
So definitely that's a context. But if we lift up, we get a higher level of discussion around why political parties they exist, waiting at the role then where they're supposed for can play, we go realize a particular now just a very, very minor issue. So yes, it dey happen in offices, it dey happen because sometimes me and you wear anything, nobody know they look we, but some certain people then where they wear then go begin. So these are very, very petty things there. And honestly, no office, no government, no go there. Me picking they green or red. It get in sports over the years. I always wear the color for go support them. Because of work, because of I know at the afraid office, I no go wear that color there. I will not do that. And I think say everybody for realize say where you picking, these are the things where they groom picking them, where they make them grow, where in the adulthood they go remember, oh mommy and daddy or grandma or uncle, me always they do me sports meeting and look we picture the way we all be wear, I mean they greenhouse or I mean they red house. It has a psychological thing on the picking there. So if you the parent or whoever where they go support the picking, they think say even if you eventually then at that party color there, you can't wear the party color because of this sort of funny thinking where we get. I think it's very unfortunate. We need for really go beyond this particular thing, and they help we at all as a nation.
From the discussion all they get at the studio this morning, and with all the examples the more don't give, it clearly shows a Sierra Leone don't become color sensitive because of politics. Certain people so believe in them political party that if I wear green, my political party go feel say I don't support the SLPP when I then color than the na green. And if I wear red, me other political party go feel say I don't support APC when I then color when I'm green. And according to Chairman Kasho, this na problem will happen over the years. And Salone fastly they approach general election. So it's safe for stop the problems them, the effects they will happen at school sports, and then they make them take this decision for ban them to color their so. Effects them don't begin happen at school sports just because of them to color their so. Waiting there ahead of Sierra Leoneans them as we fastly they approach elections.
a very unfortunate context. Nine go happen if we follow this trend. But this is why I think a good conversation don't start. For let we continue, because again, not today we they get this issue around party colors there. For let we continue for do a lot of civic education. And people then get for understand waiting at the role of political parties. You not get for begin judge person by the color where he wear, because APC where they do red and SLPP they do green. And just a correction, not to all Sierra Leonean sensitive but particular. Me not sensitive but then color than they. And they wear anything, go any side. Because I'm not affiliated. And I think we get for move beyond that. And even if people are affiliated, you go to other countries. I don't know so many countries where the political parties then during the election time, the political parties then get them color. All man they were waiting. Nobody know they look in company, waiting you wear, waiting you know where. They are looking at waiting this party get for can offer away. It's more about the tangibles, waiting then they propose then they can do as a political party rather than the color. And I think we get for lift the debates to that level.
Lifting the debates to that level. You think this 2023 election, one way Sierra Leonean for use as an example, let we watch beyond party color, let we begin make decision based on issues where they benefit with the citizens them.
Certainly. For example, I did with the group of civil society colleagues, led by IGR, where they do this. We do the Citizens Manifesto for 2018, and we are going to do the same thing. And the whole idea is now for let every Sierra Leonean, we don't reach that voting level, therefore understand with the value of that in one ballot. So even when you deal within your political party, not to forgo begin cost person or begin the look who's particular or for snap this person. It's about waiting you how you can input into your political party for make you know what they can offer the nation. Because it's not just about your party or una within the party. Then political parties there, and then they shape with vision, and then they shape with life. Now then they get for define how the nation get for move forward, because then they constitute a government. Now that's then they for. So that's get for be the conversation rather than whether this person wear red or this person wear green.
The situation don't deteriorate to certain level that people they lost property now because of the color. I remember in a situation where they attack a keke rider because of in keke in color where the ride pass in front of a particular political party. Now, the situation at this level, who say we to trace this issue from as civil society and somebody with a campaign on human rights? Who say we to trace the problem? Who say the problem there?
So one of the things that will make people so passionate to the extreme about the political party is the issue about power and influence and access to opportunities. The unfortunate way we don't shape we governance system, when you show that affiliation there to political party, it gives you access to something where you're entitled to as a citizen. Some people then go tell you, say, when I make so, if not so why I make so and make so, I know we'll get this job, I know we'll get this contract, I know we'll get scholarship, I know we'll get access for do this and access for to do that. And some of them are just the basic thing when every government will come, supposed to make available to we the citizens then. So because these things are limited and a whole dynamics don't go about them, people they become highly passionate and sometimes extreme in their for manifest their affiliation to political parties. So that person they something will say that keke pass, because if you busy really you occupy you they do something. Whose chance you they get? In fact, you go see, but you go they look, but you not go see. You go see the keke, but you not go see them with that shade there. But because a lot of people they idle, they go sit on a party office, they hope say one big man or big woman go come get money and make and so and make and so. Now that make you go that do them thing and they also for attract attention to himself to be seen. It's also an issue around identity, and he realized a lot of people then they get this sort of slightly extreme partisan affiliation, because if you not do that in your view, nobody know they see them, nobody know they notice them, you know go certain places, you know go access anything. So it's also just about having access to power, to influence, to opportunities where probably on a normal day if we're able for access them because now a citizen.
All right, continue for the between the program. In name na Valnora Edwin in a good governance and human rights campaign. Today na the program where they look at the effects where the red and green color them, where some school and say they begin ban because of people them they politicize them to color there.
We still get we studio guest inside the program, Vanolda Edwin, in a civil society, good governance and human rights campaigner. Inside the program, we talk about color and the impact we get on society. And the topic today they around school sports. Then color don't take over. And as we get an earlier interview from the chairman for Western Rural District, Kasha Holland Cole. Henceforth, next academic year, then go ban all them color now the Western Rural Districts. Now for day when are red and green for dinner sports meets them. Vanora Edwin, we don't talk about the issues them around them color them yeah. So we look at them boil around. They discuss the red and green without the APC and the SLPP. Whose role then party gets for ensure say reduce this tension of this colorization of the nation?
Then self-care for do a lot of civic education. But unfortunately, just as we can talk about peace and security, how young men there in particular can be involved in violence, it seems like then they gain from that one day. Because firstly, now then can start that conversation day. You will realize, say, you seldom see them wear any of them color than they. If somebody they APC, especially in the executive, people they way pronounced, way known. If then they APC, they no go, you no go see them wear anything green. If they SLPP, no go wear anything red. And so until then begin show that for no say these are just colors, let we not put so much premium on just the color, but waiting really the political party stand for. Until they start for do that, we will continue forget this challenge. And I think we don't reach this kind of level where a consideration that they say, oh, we need for ban them colors there, they need for step up. They need for go and engage people and then self-join their institutions they were don't mention, including we self, for educate them, support them, say, no, you cannot do that. Let we not degenerate the conversation to the point where even school sports meeting, they become disrupted because of colors. And when you talk, say, make I remember something will happen. I go bow at the canton, at the buy Gary, me and somebody else. So the person sit down front me, then at the back, 3 people then come, 2 elder women and 1 young lady. So the young lady now don't come for. So they decide, say, I mean, of course, we get for support, we young picking them, even though me say no me for the sale at that time. So we decide, say, well, would they buy to them? And the mommy say, now because in Gary gets green. Because the person when me sit down front me be wear red clothes. Red clothes or now you just wear. In the selling Gary, in your own girl, you know, say then they stamp on with green and red. And the consideration was this young pikin now go buy it too. So this is how the conversation don't go that even Gary packets it dey between red and green.
Now, people then go trace this back, as I say, go discuss the color without, mentioned APC and SLPP. And we don't see in the past, when SLPP, for instance, in a power, then count boss is now green. When APC in a power, then count boss is now red. Somebody will say this is not the genesis of some of the issues there. So
I totally agree. I make her say that then, get for take the stand for make sure, say, the whole thing about them too is not about the color. And then self they hype the color a lot. I totally agree with you. Then bosses then come, then change the color. You go see certain thing and then they project the color. And that's not the idea. And especially since it don't reach this sort of sensitive level, then self gets, in fact, they have the primary responsibility. The APC and the SLPP executive then get the primary responsibility for beginning the lower this tempo where don't they build and it don't they build over time. They have the primary responsibility. And also understand that when you are in the government, it is not about the political party. It is above the political party. You are talking about the states. Because you they govern people the way they within your party, where they other political parties, and we're not even there within a political party. You they govern the state even for the future. So you get for rise above all that party sentiment, even though not through that you come, and ensure saying that the state you they govern, and you they project the image, a conversation, a value system, where they unite the state, where people in the season at the country Sierra Leone in primary, rather than you party affiliation, let alone it degenerates further to the color.
This trend where don't they happen at Salone for they reach to the level say school then they consider for ban them to color their so although some school themselves don't they go about for Duam. Now one way it clearly they show say as a nation people don't they be too sensitive to color. But when you go now other country and at the sub-region, nobody know about color. You can wear anything you pass in the street. And even to tender within the whole elections, you see two different political party them, where maybe now the main political party and then two countries, they dance together, embrace themselves. The only thing we will make you able to differentiate them maybe not the same color, but then they say same vehicle and do everything. Why Salone case different, Miss Edwin?
Because of the way we don't build we political culture. We not build them for let we able for educate people, let people understand why political parties they exist, the main fact that then they for shape the future of the country, for meet you vision and your aspiration. That is why they are there. So this is why we ask them, say, you need forgiving manifesto. When a plan for council, we say, if I come and then the executive, this and this and this now that I want to do. Now that's political party then they for. But if they're not able for educate the public on understanding why they exist, now that makes them go to them funny thing them and degenerate the conversation. So when people gather, instead of them talk about, oh, what in this party they can do on health, on education, on electricity, on this, on that, then go begin to fet themselves, but oh look at na red car drive, na green susi wear, na green penny they write with, na red scarf he tie. So the whole conversation now is not about what is going to be Sierra Leone in the next 5 years, in the next 10, in the next 20 years. Now that moment of that person wear red and green, now there the conversation don't go. You might want for things say maybe it's deliberate on the part of the political parties that they don't want the citizens then for really wise up, for ask them those pertinent questions when you they want run for office, for ask them really waiting they want to do, and when they're in office for no say you mean don't say you get a vision for do this, how you don't they articulate and over time. So the conversation instead of we ask them, we begin first we say first, but whether you hold red pen or green bag or green shoes or red clothes.
The program na Good Morning Salone, we come to you from the Society for Radio Democracy, 98.1 FM.
We continue the program. We still have Nora Edwin between the studio in a good governance and human rights campaigner. Today in the program, we talk about color them, especially the two major color them, when are green and red, how they don't they about different activities, especially for school them. Also, we see authority them na some parts them, especially at the western area rural, they consider say they want for ban then two color there. So because according to the chairman, he say people don't politicize them two color there. So whenever schools them in that area, they can get sport activity them. Problem and effects them can come on inside it. We don't talk about the different effects them we then to color they also get and waiting for Apple now. You will suggest say a national conversation for begin now. Let people know some of the reasons, especially the political aspect of them. Now let we look where political activity then can happen. And the country firstly next year we begin going to political activities them. We don't see Usai. If now the SLPP or the Green they come out today, police can even go for protect some of the party offices them of the APC because of the fear say supporter them might destroy them property. Then they waiting at some of the messages there now where on civil society, maybe institution then waiting for civic education, waiting at some of the messages them where things say therefore begin put out there now.
The burden lie on the executive of the political parties. Because now then they encourage thugs or marshals or whatever they want to call them, where they now the political party offices them. Now they also get them where then can make the excuse say, oh well, we don't know who done all them supporters they are. Some of them not to paid up members. Some of them can be detractors. Then can just can't join and create problem. But I think if over time, not only when election they come, But if over time, political parties, they don't take up that responsibility, they say, because then tier don't they be, and we see how we young men in particular, and even older people there, can get very extreme. Then for them, they do a lot of civic education for no say, we are not enemies, we are all the same. But because then they gain from that, and that make them continue for the condone then funny behavior. Then they go tell you, oh, they don't look with supporter, they up, they don't detain them. It become a whole hot conversation. Again, a distraction from the actual conversation where for be, wetin you they can't offer we. Wetin make we still they get blackout. Wetin make we healthcare system challenging. Wetin we can do for improve we educational system. These are the conversations where we really for the get with political parties. So now the burden is on them. The higher responsibility they on political parties. As civil society organizations, we they continue for do with civic education. And even when the issue of the Western rural, we don't hype up this thing further. Since that a proposal where the chairperson they think, because where he see the context, he feels say na the best solution. But it get wider implication. If you begin banning at the school then now, that means say you go ban an office, you go ban around, you go ban a church, you go ban a mosque, then it become maybe a wider thing. And that's not correct. Because if me don't get me close there now, you can't stop me say I can't go here with me getting green or red. If I get green or red vehicle, you can't stop me say I can't drive them. Or when they get rally, I can't drive and pass, then go stone them. Just as with the say some keke person mean they way pass with in vehicle, then go stone the vehicle. We just get for stop that kind of behavior there. So it's a lot of civic education for let we all understand, because some of them behavior are not to the thugs and the marshals. So now people that within our office like me and you, now then they get them kind of thinking there, now then they push them kind of agenda, and then can begin harass somebody else na the office, say, no, this na APC person, no, this na SLPP person, you know, since you all tell where this scholar.
You don't talk about the role of the political parties themselves, civil society. Look at the citizens themselves where they engage in some of these things. If they continue for engage and fight for thing we no for fight for we would I wear green, would I wear red, what in this mean to them in terms of service provision and in terms of their daily living and standard living in the country, where therefore all the politicians them accountable for provide for them.
So the civic education where civil society go do, or NCD or NACID, or even the political parties go do, is geared towards the ordinary citizen for they understand what in political parties and therefore, and that fighting over some or go first person or cost somebody because of in close in color, in car in color, in keke in color, or whatever he always get color, when not so you buy giam, that is not the idea. The idea, now forget a discussion on how these political parties them can come and shape a national vision and move Sierra Leone to that middle income economy where we want for be, and for let we get more respect and standing at the international level. That is why we have
talking
political
about
parties.
Holding them political party there, so for like get decent conversation, citizens they ask them question as to what you go bring at the table if I give you me ballot day for elections. Now always seem not for day part of the conversation anymore. So certain people them or citizens them don't turn them political party them to religion, say this na me political party. I don't care whether you put, I don't need for ask question. I just believe in this political party. You think say this narrative or this perception get anything for do with disturbing developing of the country?
Certainly, and again it's another unfortunate context where we find ourselves. So the scenario is nobody not stop you for let you day in your political party. Some people go tell you, oh, me great grandpa dede, me papa dede, so myself dede. You know, then now we blood, then go tell you that. It's up to them, that's fine. But even as you dede, you have a responsibility for shape them. Because the political party is not just about you. The one that were in a party, there are very few, really, compared to people that were not even there in a political party at all, or when we're there in other political parties. So you get for look at the bigger picture, that if are they in this political party, what thing are they do for make sure say it serve the people of Sierra Leone? Now then you work. So nobody not say go na other I mean in advanced democracies, you dey get person go say are they this party, But the way the person where them put for be president or the person where them put for be MP or councillor, I not think say is suitable and they vote for her. You know mean say, you know, then you get your membership, you did it. But you see somebody else elsewhere where you feel say can do better, you dey vote for them because you want your life for better. You want somebody where go na parliament, he go look the laws them, he go play oversight role very well. Now that kind of person, the way sometimes the person within a party where them put where don't engage you, you see say he not get what it take for play that role day. So it's a bit of a for let we all get for understand waiting political parties then they do. Now then get for field candidates, even in some offices there, you dey get independent candidate, but they field people when I then get for meet with aspirations.
And we still get Valnora Edwin with we na the program in a good governance and human rights campaigner. We talk about color today and waiting the green and the red color don't be continue for be an issue, especially in a school sports activity them. And according to the chairman for the Western Area Rural District, Kasha Olan Cole is saying they consider for ban then two color there. So when they come back in our studio and earlier, me said we need to talk about civic education where on our civil society and other government institutions they're more responsible for civic education for embark on now. Let we look at the issue we get for the national cohesion. You don't they say we Sierra Leone and don't they talk about national cohesion and even as if na civil society don't they come out, don't they talk about national cohesion and not to secret again say issues them still lay around national cohesion. People then divide maybe because of tribe, region, politics and all. With this other new pattern, we don't they develop small with colors. How we go continue for Hamburg national cohesion where una civil society don't they come out, don't they preach against?
The whole challenge just center around the political space. And it's all about access to resources, all about access, it's all about influence and then kind of thing and they because if you look, we get side and where they come together as a nation. Right now, we dey under Lent and we get Ramadan. All man they fast, who they go about, we all remember when Easter come and when Ramadan done, how we all they enjoy together. We all they do that now. You they see how many intermarriages them be. You they see how many friends that we they get from other ethnic groups where you really get a division because the cohesion can break through then the religion and ethnicity, and we don't make politics big for them two political parties here. But when it deep rooted, you know they even go buy in a shop when other ethnic person they. You know they in a church where you pastor then other or you reverend then other ethnic. You don't even do that. But with the intermarriage, with the mix, with the mingle, but just when it comes to this politics, and the greater thing is that access to opportunity, that access to job, that basic thing where some people then, because not so we all get that thinking, there's some people then just think, say, if I not show this kind of affiliation, I know will get that thing where I need, I know will get that thing where I deserve. So I need for show this kind of extra thing. So that education, they just get for be. We just get for target them across the board. We just get for be consistent in how we they do them. And we they hope say, even as we they approach the election, this issue around party color no go can dominate we, let we lose sight of the bigger picture. So it's very important that everybody gets a role for play. And I think say when the heads them within the political parties them begin take up that responsibility, then where any color, go any side, whether in a wedding, whether in a church, whether in a for go walk, we see key government official or people in a key positions, the way we know say they're heavily affiliated to political party, then just cut across and wear whatever.
This
then
a suggestion.
Change a mindset.
Ms. Edwin, this is not a suggestion on a things them way una civil society or campaigner them want for engage some of them relevant people as stakeholder, the executive members of political party that they then begin do?
You know, as I don't emphasize there over and over, this conversation all starts today. And we don't in many forums where this issue of party color don't come issue, even where they go knock people mutuka. If a particular political party between APC and SLPP they rally, you get the opposite color, then they go wap your vehicle. Not so today it starts. It has been a conversation where they go on and on. We just get for intensifier. And I think say probably what we don't do now for really push the burden heavily on the executive of the political parties. Because now then supporter then they look up to. If then talk to them, they engage them, we hope say we they see a change.
You say not today this happen, then same executive of them political party as so we want for shift the burden on. You think say over the years this conversation don't they happen year in year out. They don't be good example to the supporter them.
Then certainly not don't be a good example. But now make would they put the burden on them, that make would they educate the citizens then say, you political party executive and you political party, it come for help you achieve your vision. The opportunities the way you think say you not get. Now that's then the day for when they form a government, even when they are in parliament, because now then they get for enact law and play oversight over the executive. So if you political parties have not win the executive, you go into parliament, they are part of the governance architecture. Now that's then they for. And now that's the political parties then supposed for educate them. And even in this forum, I don't say many times that in 2011, now so we get a whole issue in Bo, where we go do the Kelvin Lewis panel of investigation, and I was a part of that. And one of the recommendations was for make sure say political parties they educate their members then in whatever form. Now we get so many social media platforms way for use. So even the most illiterate person, you can do audio message and it will listen in whatever language. We mentioned say you cannot entertain people there within your political party offices there, because now then kind people and then they use for create the confusion.
From 2011 to now, when I make the recommendation, then so many political activity they don't happen. We don't get the 2012 elections, 2018 elections, but immediately after the elections, then the political party then can engage in different activity. Them not sensitizing their supporter them, just like what they suggest.
So we hope so we all they get wiser, because we they move the burden on political parties the more for take the lead on that. But each and every one of we, like when I don't ask, say, what about the citizens? We serve as ordinary citizens because it's not helpful. If you go to a sports meeting, you go disrupt them. You picking and they you expose them to harm. You they affect the school, you they embog the environment. Sometimes police go reach there, tear gas go come on there, people then go lost their market. You they disrupt that whole community there just for petty thing about color. So even as citizens, we self get the burden, but it has to be gradual and it get for be constant. So Naimeka said this is an early warning, a wake-up call that we have to do more, using all mechanisms possible for ensure say we educate we say for understand say political parties not about color now but for ensure say light day, water day, we able to travel, we able to do with business, we money get value, we get good health and education. Now that's
this is a campaign where we already engage on for long term, but the situation still they happen. Now whose approach you think say for be adopted now for CC people in mind come up from these petty things as you describe them to things where they border on the well-being and safety of the people in the country?
So in as much as probably the message might be the same, now you get a diversity of avenues then, of platforms then for take way they take educate people. And you get several youth groups, more youth groups that we don't emerge even from, you might say 2018 to now, where can be conduits then. We get different platforms. And if you say now the school get PTA, it gets council of principals, it get teachers union, where all them places and then as spaces where we can engage for do the education. You get the social media platform where they increase and intensify even more than waiting in 2018. So it's just like you are bombarding now because it's not healthy at all for national cohesion, it's not healthy for peace, it's not healthy for we democracy because we know they grow. And they clearly they show say we really not understand why we are having political parties.
All right, many thanks for we join we in the studio this morning in name na Valnora Edwin in a good governance and human rights campaigner. It be there with we in the program where they talk about colors them, especially the green and the red, how it on the Hamburg. Peace and safe we see usai some authority them, especially in the western area rural. They consider say they want to make a decision for ban them to color there because according to the chairman, then they bring problem them anytime we schools them. Now this area, the old and sports activity them. Well now they end the program. Many thanks, Mr. Edwin. We join the program.
A pleasure.
All right, Michael Sambola and Alex Logan-Skoma. Now they produce the program. DJ Ahmad give technical support. Moses Kavora and I make when I watch we live now Facebook page. Mina Khadija Banguga, they wish you all a blessed day.
And Musa Kamara, they say bye-bye.